Hello again, YouTube land. So previously I've mentioned a couple different things I want to get to on the Monday posting, but there's one that's come up that I want to comment on. In previous video postings I've mentioned, that if anyone ever cared to comment on anything I had posted, I would be happy to respond to it, either in the comments or not. And what few comments, emphasis on few, I have gotten, I have tried to respond to, at least in written form, if nothing else. And I got a comment on the posting prior to this one, which I found interesting because it was a quote, a Kirk quote, actually. And I'm not really sure how to phrase it. I don't know. It was a nice quote. I was impressed that the person who posted it thought to quote Kirk to make their point. But one of the things I often forget about social platforms like YouTube is that most people don't post their names. You decide on, or alternately I imagine, get assigned a name that will display when you subscribe to someone or when you post something. And I got another response from the same person who quoted Kirk, but still no name, which is fine. I mean, it's their right. They don't have to tell me who they are, but I forget the level of anonymity most social media allows for nowadays. But in the response this person just sent me, they mentioned several shows that I like, and I'm thinking I have an idea, as the words come out of my mouth, about who it might be. And it might be someone I had some interaction with on MySpace who decided to end that conversation. Alright, I'm gonna gloss over that. Let's just move on. Because the more I think about it, the more I think it's probably the same person, and I don't want to make myself too angry. I don't know if you can see it in the background behind me. That is our cat Tribble, who has apparently decided her favorite place to nap this week is on top of her litter box. She's not doing anything wrong necessarily, so it's just weird. What else was I going to get to in today's posting? Oh, family barbecue on Saturday. So the last family barbecue I went to last summer was, I don't know, a dozen people, give or take. This year, apparently, it was like 30 people, including several out extensions of family. So I was kind of surprised. I was very worried I had underbaked until I remembered that probably 4 or 5 different people had made desserts to contribute. I made chocolate cookies with Ghirardelli chocolate chips from scratch, which is impressive only in the fact that I had never made chocolate cookies with chocolate chips in them before. And they actually came out respectable. What else? I'm trying to get some cleaning done around here. I'm going to be hosting a brunch in the near future. And I want this place to look tolerable to my standards, which it won't, but, you know, as close as I can get. But yeah, the family barbecue is interesting. I generally get along with most of my husband's extended family, and I phrase it that way because a lot of them I don't really speak to on a regular basis, really. I mean, I talk to them at family gatherings and events, and I see them at, you know, funeral this or so-and-so's bat mitzvah that. But that's about it, you know. The barbecue that my husband's parents host in the summer is probably the only time I tend to see several of them in one place. So it was interesting, and you can tell there's a certain age divide because a good number of them are above a certain age. There's a group in the middle that kind of wanders between the two groups, and then there's the younger ones. And, you know, family divides in that kind of age-based way. So I spent most of the time sitting outside with basically the younger half of the family, but, you know, wandering around. And the other thing that we brought to the family barbecue is Sam's parents called later on the day before and said, hey, do you think Sam would be interested in making his guacamole and bringing it with you? And I went, I don't see why not. I'll talk to him when he gets home from work. So I did. He called his parents back. They decided it would be easier if we made it and brought it with us. So Sam and I eventually decided to make it Saturday morning, so it was fresh made, and bring it up with us. Only about 3 avocados worth, but it was a hit. I've been telling Sam he should make it for my dad. My dad would love it, but made 3 avocados worth with help because he's not quick when it comes to prepping things. I mean, he can do it, obviously. It's his recipe. He's good at making it. I enjoy it. But he doesn't have the knife skills or really the knife handling confidence to get through things quickly. Whereas I'm just like whack, chop, 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 skim, whack, chop, 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 chop. So, but then again, I've always liked playing with sharp objects. What else? I don't know. It went pretty well. Lasted only a few hours. Still tired. Oh, excuse me. You know, in the back of my head, as I'm trying to keep stream of thought speech coming out of me, my mind is running over and over who that person probably is that left the comment, and more things are lining up in my head that make me think it is that person that I had been dealing with on MySpace, but the last time I spoke to them on MySpace was roughly 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Because we've lived here more than a year, and it was well before we considered moving that I last spoke to that person. So, I don't know. If it is, it is. If it's not, they'll see this and they'll clarify that it's not them. And they don't know who I'm confusing them with. But I should hope they have the spine to admit it if they are. I really don't like dealing with spineless people. I really don't. It's one of the few things my sister has ever given me credit for. Driving off the spineless jellyfish she used to date. Scared him stiff. That's what she said. She said, no, you know, this boyfriend, you terrified him, and that one, you pulled him apart on the phone, and they all just kind of like ran away and faded. None of them are willing to stand up to you. No, they're not, because they're spineless. People who have a spine, who have a personality, who are worth dealing with, present themselves as being worth dealing with. They don't get scared because I express an opinion. They certainly don't get scared because I express an opinion vehemently or bluntly. They just go, and? What's your opinion? So what? Because that I respect. Because that's the way I tend to deal with things when people put that kind of emphasis in my face. You can call me whatever name the book has invented. Any book. Religious book, English book, foreign language book, doesn't matter. Call me whatever name you want. But you know what? It really had better be you directly to my face. Because if it's not, as far as I'm concerned, you're not worth the attention I pay to dust in the wind. Sorry, I went a little tangential there, but I should probably end this posting because I'm starting to feel remarkably upset at the concept that it is who I think it is. And it's a very long list of reasons and a very complicated explanation as to why I'm so pissed off. Even at just the potential that it's that person. So, I'm gonna stop recording now. Suffice to say, the family barbecue went well. And I do read comments posted on this, and there's a good set of statistical odds that I'll answer them. Oh, I really keep forgetting to account for the anonymity that social media allows for. Gotta work on that.